Welcome back to another episode of the River City Boys podcast. Today we got a good one for you. Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins, 9, Cowboys, all eliminated. So we brought on our resident Chiefs expert to talk some Mahomes injury, some Bengals preview. What is next for the boys in stripes?
Uh,
Nothing is next for the boys in stripes.
chill out.
You know, what game do we want to talk about first?
Um,
I think since we got the guest
well,
on, bro, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about the Mahomies.
Yep, yep. I mean,
uh,
it was an ugly
when did,
game.
yeah, it was gross. I
It
mean,
was
it's just a AFC West slug out.
that's
Chargers, Chiefs.
that's the way we've been playing ball.
It's the it's the way, I guess. But
Would you rather Mahomes tear his ACL or turn the ball over twice on one play? That's what the Chargers defense does to people.
that's a great question. I think I'd take the torn ACL over the turn the ball over twice,
Exactly,
man.
exactly. So
I
did
mean,
you
You
see?
listen here, man. I'm all here for the Chiefs hate. Okay, I hate the Kansas City Chiefs with a deep, dark passion. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like one of those people who says the dynasty's over because
I agree.
Patrick Mahomes finally had one off season. He finally does bad for the first time in what it feels like a decade, and we're gonna jump on the train and act like he's still not the best QB in the league right now. I'm not falling for it. I mean, if he wasn't injured, he still probably hits. I mean, what on this season right now? He's at.
I don't know about best QB in the league. 9 does exist.
Right now he's at 3,600 yards basically. He still probably hits 4,000 if he's in for 3 more games. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like that he still wasn't doing well. I mean, of course he turned the ball over and was sacked and would have been sacked the most times in his entire career this season if he wasn't injured. So, but I mean, it's not the end for the Chiefs dynasty.
Yeah, I agree. Like dynasties can continue if you miss the playoffs. The Warriors undoubtedly have a dynasty, not anymore, but did, and they missed the playoffs in a year in that span. So
Yeah, no, there's rebuild years, there's, dominant years, and you kind of saw the decline of the Chiefs from that 23 year to that 25 year. And it all starts with Matt Nagy.
and you think that's what it is?
That coward needs to get off the Chiefs.
I've seen a lot of people that just say that the roster is not good, and that's the issue.
Well, I mean, it's an aging roster. Brett Veach is one of the greatest GMs in the NFL, but I think there's a lot of holes. That offensive line, unfortunately, it's been rough the past few years. They finally got their left tackle, and he sticking gets hurt and was on IR.
Was he that
But
good before?
yeah, oh,
Okay.
he didn't let up a pressure against. Oh shoot, what game was that? I want to say a week or two before he got hurt, he didn't let up a single pressure against Pat or
Yeah.
for Pat. Um, but Josh Simmons was great. Trey Smith has been banged up all year, so Mike Caliendo has been in at right guard and has been uh, underwhelming. Jawan Taylor, the GOAT,
The Evan Neal rival for best
GOAT,
tackle in
man.
football. Um, y'all
They'll be
y'all still got
dumping
Creed
him.
Humphrey. You still got Creed Humphrey though.
Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Josh Simmons will be, and Kingsley Suamataia has been their left guard, and he's done a great job with the switch. He's like six, he's like 6'7", and like 320 pounds, and he's been awesome.
Yeah.
You know
Um,
what also doesn't help the Chiefs?
hmm,
3 years in a row, almost leading the league in drops.
yeah,
Wow.
Your guys' receivers are just piss poor awful.
That
Travis
seems
Kel-
like that's on the tight end, I'd say.
Travis or Kelsey is regressing like it's no one else's business. I mean, he's old. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like Travis Kelsey isn't naturally regressing like he isn't older than dirt. And at the age of almost every single tight end ages out of the league. But I
yep,
mean, Xavier Worthy, terrible. Rasheed Rice got his head locked off. The team is just horrible. They can't catch a ball if it was to save their life.
The saga of Thornton and Mahomes trying to connect all season has been a fun one to watch. They, it's
It's
either
been
Mahomes will
great.
overthrow him by 10 yards or Thornton will drop it or what have you. But
They haven't been able to click, unfortunately. There's a few games where it was awesome. It was fun to watch, but hopefully
hey,
Tyquan Thornton got a nice, decent contract out of this year. I
and
hope he did.
one of the biggest problems I have with the Chiefs is that you guys didn't let Russ cook, so we had to face Jackson Dart and lost
What?
because we should have had to face Russ, but we didn't. So that's on you guys.
That honestly, I apologize. I should have told Spags to chill out, man.
Hey, let him get a couple tutties. Let's make him not look like the worst quarterback ever.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I felt bad for a
That
division rival that
that
lost to a team that they
decision
just beat.
that decision might have let the Broncos win the division. That
That's
singular
not the only
that right
reason, but we'll
there
take it.
because then Jackson Dart would have come in against the Broncos and wouldn't and shouldn't have blown a 33-point lead or whatever that was. That was
Yeah, that was
horrible.
horrible.
That's the fraud co's got a free win.
Oh my god, dude, stop
The
it.
fraud code, the fraud code led by the
Stop it
biggest
right
fraud in the league.
now.
Led by Mo Picks.
All right, we need to move on to Chiefs, dude.
Okay,
Let's move
fine.
on to the team that is sitting in the deepest contract of their life, the Miami Dolphins.
Hmm.
Where do the Dolphins go? Do you think that McDaniels
No,
or
what
Tua
needs to
or
go
both are gone?
What needs to go is Tua. Mike McDaniels is not the issue. Tua
I agree.
Tagovailoa has brain damage out the ass.
I
I mean,
think
like, what do you expect? What do you expect Mike McDaniels to do with a QB who just couldn't hit a barn with a 4x4? I
my
mean, this
my
guy is terrible.
my worry is that if McDaniels is there and he benches Tua, Devon Achane might be the quarterback. He unlimited touches for the guy.
That's my fantasy running back, so I would take it.
I I
It's
predicted
crazy.
on the show Quinn Ewers would start at the end of the season, and it's looking like it
That's
might.
that's not happening.
Looking like Quinny, looking like the
No.
flowing locks.
Quinn Ewers is horrible.
Do you think Quinn Ewers is the best former Ohio State QB to transfer out and go somewhere else?
You know what? I I'd absolutely
I'd
agree.
I'd have to
Chill
agree with
out, dude.
that. That
Let's
take
not play this game, big dog. Let's cut it out right now. Let's
definitely.
not
Oh,
do
you're
that.
right. I did forget. I did forget about
Don't even.
Tyson. No, never mind. That was Jordan saying that.
Shut up.
You're
Just
right.
stop talking. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the
We didn't even
nines.
talk about the Dolphins. We didn't even
There's
talk.
nothing to
We
talk
can't.
about. The only
What do
issue
you
they
mean?
have is the fact that Tua Tagovailoa is taking the most amount of cap space. He's
There's
making $90
so
million
much.
dollars a year, and
He is
he's
not
still
making
in.
90. It's like
And his cap hit,
55.
it's his guaranteed. It's a guaranteed that's messing it all up because he's guaranteed like $166 million, and the cap hit gets even bigger next year. So the
Well,
only thing you can do is hopefully because some team's gonna pick up Tua Tagovailoa.
we have a lot to talk about with the Finns. We have is Tyreek Hill going to play again?
Yeah, he's
Is,
gonna play with the Chiefs.
He's gonna go play with. He's gonna
is
go play with the Bang
everybody
Bus.
going to
That's what
play
he's
with
gonna
the
go do.
Chiefs? You guys are going to have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyreek Hill next season.
I love Justin Jefferson's coming
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah. He's upset with 9.
Tyreek Hill's getting a lucrative contract with Brazzers. That's all that's gonna happen in the off season.
Dude, it was so weird him smiling the whole way. Did you see the picture of him in the ambulance and he was still smiling?
I don't
It's
blame him, dude.
crazy.
Like you have to play on the
Nope.
Miami Dolphins, bro. That's like being on the Browns.
Hold on. It's not even the Dolphins. He had Tua throwing to him
But him and
every
Tua were
time.
good like 2 years ago. That's the worst part.
Him and
Sometimes
Tua. Him and Tua. It was him. Tua was just the beneficiary.
Jalen Waddle
Tua
wasn't
should
doing
have
that
to
bad that
Tua
season.
should have to give half his contract to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill every season. And then the other
Whoa,
half
whoa,
to
and A-Chan.
yeah, and then a third of it to McDaniel and Achan. And then he can keep the rest. A little bit for hospital bills for his brain damage.
I don't. The Dolphins, they're constructed horribly. Their roster's old, aging. I mean,
Um
when
I mean,
Minka
it's just
Fitzpatrick is your
terrible
best
ownership.
defensive player,
they
Minka
got Chop
Fitzpatrick,
Robinson.
Oh my gosh, get out of here.
He's kind of been a bust. He's
They
kind of been
had
a bust.
Jalen Phillips, had to move off of him because they weren't going to be able to afford him.
Uh,
Um,
Chop Robinson, fun fact, he actually sat out the Ohio State game because he got poked in the eye
wow,
at
Yeah,
Penn
job.
State. So, yeah,
what a
Chop.
great stat.
First round defensive player who's gonna basically miss the entire game because he got poked in the eye in the first quarter. So that sucks.
Yeah, but I'm sick of the blaming Mike McDaniels for horrible ownership. I mean, in what world do you pay Tua Tagovailoa that much money?
You
There's
had
there's
to
no there's there you don't have to.
if you
Pick
wanted
up
to
pick
keep
up a
him.
different QB in free agency or pick another QB in the draft. He's not that
I
good.
I disagree with that. I think they did need to pay him. They just completely overpaid.
Do you think he would have taken less? Like seeing
No,
Hobart and Burrow and Hoots and Love all in
But
his
that's
class get the
that's that's
same?
the worst part about the
nope.
QB cap right now, bro, is that every mid QB
Yeah,
is expecting the biggest payout. Like
I
Trevor
Yeah,
Lawrence,
agree.
Trevor Lawrence's pay was
Brock
ridiculous. There's
Purdy,
yeah, bro,
Trevor
there's
Lawrence
no
has actually
reason
been good.
he's been good, but what he got paid, how he's performing before he got paid was not enough to justify how much he got
I
paid.
actually
he
heard that.
also
Sorry,
go ahead.
I actually heard that Mahomes gave part of his contract to Brock Purdy, well, to the Niners to pay Brock Purdy for those Super Bowls.
You know,
Shut
that's
up.
it. Adam Schefter here.
Spurs reported.
No, it's unfortunate that all these horrible quarterbacks are getting such big contracts. And it's
Yeah.
been great for me to watch Patrick Mahomes get paid $500 million over 10 years while he just sits there.
That's Shohei Ohtani
Well,
ass
now it's only
contract.
9. He actually scammed them because he's missing part of the season. He should have to pay that
It's
back.
true. Well, the problem is, I think his cap hit next year. Sorry, this is going to be total Chiefs glaze right now because that's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for. I think his cap hit next year is like 68.
I think it's only like the 8th most out of quarterbacks in the league or something
Which
No,
is
no,
crazy.
no.
insane.
They've been pushing his cap. They've been pushing his cap space off, and it's a crazy number this year. Y'all can talk about. You can keep talking about how horrible the Dolphins are. I want to look this up
Okay,
really
okay.
quick.
It's just like the
The
worst managed team in the league. Like they're
I
like I think they're more worse managed than the Browns at this point. Because at least the Browns have some good players they can rely around. Like Miles Garrett is still like they still have a player that is performing at the level that they should be getting paid at. The problem
go
is
get your
the
record.
Dolphins have no one performing at the level that they're getting paid for right now.
Achan. Achan.
Besides Achan, I will give that.
Jane.
Achan's the only one that's doing anything for that team right now. He's the only one that I could see getting justified getting a contract. That's it. The rest of them are all
Yep.
terrible.
I think we
The
have the
problem
Mahomes
is,
number.
yeah, we do. Patrick Mahomes' cap hit next year is going to be $78.2 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a sizable issue. That's most teams' offensive line. At least.
Yeah.
So
Not as,
they've
mu-
got to
not as
figure
much as the
out.
Bengals though.
That's the
Well,
Bengals wide receiving room right there.
Stop it.
it's not their defense. I promise you that.
Can
The
I,
defense
I
is
gotta
actually ridiculously overpaid. It's not even funny. Our defense makes so much money for how terrible
Yeah,
they are.
they should
it's
they should all be on league minimum. I mean, each
it's
and every
like
player.
and it's like here you look all those 3 first round picks on your defense and it's like and Troy Hendrickson and they're
Whatever,
still
whatever,
fun.
whatever a practice squad player makes is what Cam Taylor Britt deserves to be paid right now.
Last thing I want to say about the Dolphins before we move on is they took a page out of the Bengals playbook and couldn't tackle DK Metcalf on that touchdown when he
Oh my
broke
god.
3 tackles. That was crazy.
Yeah, but he does in his defense he does squat like 600 pounds.
Yeah, Darnell
Well, and
Washington made the Bengals look like a turkey ball game.
well, I mean, and there was also
We won our turkey game.
90-year-old Minka Fitzpatrick trying to tackle DK. So I mean, I don't know what else you expect there.
All right, so we want to talk about 9.
Yeah,
All right.
the team that has only one issue. The Vikings have one issue, and it's strictly their QB right now.
All right, I don't know about one issue.
Their defense is performing good enough that they could be in the playoffs. Their O line is performing decent enough. They have Justin Jefferson, a wide receiver. The only reason they aren't in the playoffs right now is because they stuck with J.J. McCarthy. The guy is terrible. I don't get how. I knew he was gonna be ass. He was not that good for Michigan. I'm sick of acting like he's that good of a player. They should have never taken him. Kirk Cousins could have done better.
I
The,
think I think I think it's so funny that this is not about the Vikings, but the Bengals fans complained about Carson Wentz starting for the Chiefs last year. They're like, it's Carson Wentz, dude. Nobody can win with Carson Wentz. He's terrible.
I
And then
love Carson
Carson Wentz
Wentz.
beat the Bengals this season by 38.
I love Carson Wentz. Don't throw me in with that mix. I love Carson
There was
Wentz.
so many Bengals fans that were saying, I can't believe they started Carson Wentz in week 18. They should have started Mahomes, even though they had nothing to play for.
You know, it's just the delusion of Bengals fans. They gotta rely on quite literally every other little piece of the
That's
puzzle to
how it
work
is
out
every
for them.
year, dude. It's the life of a Bengals fan, man.
Yeah. Man,
That's the unfortunate part about living next to Cincinnati is you just got to deal with miserable Bengals fans that just get mediocrity every year. I mean, those
that was
poor guys.
that was you for like 15 years.
Hey, no, it was me for 9 years, and then I turned 10 years old, and then I got to watch Alex Smith cook.
Yeah.
This guy's been blessed with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce basically his entire life.
And you had that running back before him. What's his name?
Come on, no ball.
Dude, I know it. Well, he was so good.
Come on.
Not Jamal Charles. It was before him.
What?
I'm thinking of the running. Was it Jamal Charles, the guy that was dominant?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I
I'm
mean
thinking of Priest Holmes. I'm thinking of Priest
before him was
Holmes.
Priest
Yeah,
Holmes,
yeah.
but that's like a
That was a
little
little
bit
bit
before
ago.
my time.
Yeah.
That's like early 2000s. I was still sucking out of the baby bottle at that point.
Not watching Mahomes. We're not watching.
Hey, I was in my Chiefs onesies at that time, but can't
All
say
right.
I was casually watching Priest Holmes.
So do you? So Landon, do you think it's also only a 9 issue?
Oh, absolutely. Their defense is amazing. I mean, it's fantastic.
I think the
I mean,
roster doesn't have a whole lot of depth. The O line's
But
not
it has
great.
enough to make the playoffs.
I
It
agree.
yeah. They should be in the playoffs. Like that's a playoff
Absolutely.
team.
You know what would have solved this issue? Not cutting Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, I agree.
Sam
Nobody
Dar
saw that coming.
Everyone saw it coming. He performed perfectly fine in the regular season, bro. He's got his chance at the first playoffs he's ever performed in.
You
He just did terrible in one playoff game. That doesn't deserve him getting cut after going 13 and
you
2.
you can't
Well, here,
draft a first round quarterback and then the quarterback in the last 2 games play that bad with the season on the
They should have
line.
never drafted a quarterback, bro. They had Sam Darnold.
well, your issue is that if you would have kept Sam Darnold, it would have been the same thing. You would have been great regular season team, bounced the first round.
You
I
can't
mean,
sit here and say they had Sam Darnold acting like last year when JJ got hurt. You weren't like, haha, the Vikings have to now start Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but
Sam Darnold was
they knew how
trash for the
Sam
Jets.
Darnold was doing before they cut him and let JJ McCarthy start.
I was a Sam Darnold believer.
Dang, he was one of them.
I was.
You
I
and Mina
was.
Kimes, that's about it.
Hey, she's goaded. She knows ball.
I think Dan Orlovsky was a believer as well, but
Dan
I
Orlovsky's a
did.
believer in any young QB, dude. Dan Orlovsky literally
Yeah,
says any QB who's playing and who's doing semi well he's generational. He's gonna go the distance.
that's because Dan Orlovsky's highlight of his career is getting in the back of the end zone for that safety for the Lions.
all right. We gotta talk about the Cowboys and then we can move on to the Who Days after that. So what do we think about them boys?
Them boys would be pretty good with Micah Parsons. Well, not now, now that he's hurt.
Yeah,
But
but
I mean, you can't really do anything with the roster that they have. Their offense, it's the same thing every year. Their offense is spectacular. Defense is horrid. I mean, they got away with it the past few years before
because the defense had been somewhat competent.
because you had a really dominant defensive back in Trayvon Diggs, and you had a decent safety. I'm blanking on a name, and then you
You're
had
talking about
Micah
Malik
Parsons.
Hooker? You're talking about Malik
Yeah,
Hooker?
yeah,
And then they had DeLon Bland's pick sixes in a season. It's hard to
yep,
not make the playoffs when that happens.
right. And I mean,
So
I mean,
a blind.
if they took any like consideration into making sure their defense was working as well as their offense was and keeping Micah Parsons, I mean, in what world? I mean, that's literally like letting Patrick Mahomes off your team.
This
He's the
this
defensive version of Patrick Mahomes. There's no world where you don't pay that man, and that's the
this
The pro-
reason they're not in the playoffs right now. George Pickens and Dak Prescott were doing amazing this year. It's strictly because their defense cannot do anything.
the saddest part about it is that Michael wanted to be a Cowboy. Like he made that pretty clear,
It
and it
was
was
like
just
Lucas. It was
us.
like Luca and the Mavericks, bro. Like
Yeah,
he
it,
wants
it
to be
kind of
there.
was like Luca wanted to be a Maverick. It's like Micah was like, I will take a pay cut, pay me early. Like I want to stay on the team.
Yeah,
the
never
problem,
expect Jerry Jones to put someone else's interest before his.
well, absolutely not. But the problem with they couldn't sign Micah. I mean, looking at this right now, I mean, they're $35 million over the cap next year. You
That's
can't, I mean, you can't
that's like
sign
the Saints
Micah.
bad.
Yeah, you can't. And half of it's going to Dak, CD, Tyler Smith.
And you're
They're not
losing
gonna.
George after this year too. I mean, they're not
They're.
gonna
I
be able
would
to pay
say
George.
they're not gonna sign George
I
Pickens.
think we're talking about another team next that has a lot of money spent on the offensive side of the ball too.
Oh my nuts, bro.
Oh, who could that be?
I don't know. Maybe Santa Claus over here.
Shut up. The,
But
we can stay on the Cowboys, but I'm
yeah,
ready. I'm
yeah.
ready for the Bengals
We
whenever
still
we're
have
there.
more pleasant surprise from the Cowboys. My fantasy running back kind of killed it.
Yeah, yeah.
I did not think Javante was that good after seeing him with the Broncos, but I think it's just the Broncos. Like they just make everybody trash, and somehow it works.
Yeah,
But
he's going. Javante's going to get a nice little contract from a team. He'll end up with the Panthers and their five running backs they have every year
or we
that they
could
somehow sign.
maybe the Chiefs decide to splurge and not rush for 2 yards a carry next season.
The Chiefs don't. You don't. Javante will be wasting his time in an Andy Reid offense.
All right, I think we're gonna talk about this when we talk about the Bengals because this is my big problem with Joe Burrow more than anything. But do you think that Mahomes himself limits the rushing game by the amount of times he wants to spend in the shotgun, opposed to getting under center? Because the Chiefs are barely ever under center.
Um, I don't necessarily think that's a Patrick Mahomes decision.
It's
I think
probably a Nagy decision. I want to look up the number that the Chiefs are while you explain. I want to look up their
I
number under
I
center.
don't even want to say it's a Nagy decision because Matt Nagy needs to just go home to his wife and kids and call it a career. He's horrible. He was horrible with the Bears. He's killed the Chiefs offense since he's been there. I think it's an Andy Reid thing. Um, the
Okay.
game the game against the Chargers, that opening drive, that opening touchdown drive for the Chiefs,
Yeah.
they rushed the ball 7 times. And you want to know how many times they rushed the ball for the rest of that game? Just take a wild guess.
You said seven. I'm gonna go 10.
6.
No way, it's less. That was the
They ru-
thing. That was the thing. The first time we played you guys, it was like, oh well, Mahomes is the only guy that got more than 5 carries, and it's
um and you guys and it so how this went, I don't want to. I'm trying to make sure this is correct because I saw it on.
I can't find it. It's you have to pay to find out the amount of times teams snap under center and stuff. Apparently, so
Well, of course.
you're just gonna have to take my word for it.
Um,
Source, trust me, bro.
sorry. Okay, so my stat was incorrect. With without Patrick Mahomes, they rushed the ball 6 times that game. With
Yeah,
just their running backs
yeah.
rushed the ball 6 times the rest of that game.
Is this like college when you count Mahomes as 5 sacks, 5 times getting sacked?
Well, I'm an avid sacks are a QB stat. I
Oh, you're one of those guys. So,
I am.
what do you think about when you see the Sunday night football and it's 36 out of 37, 37 out of 37, 35 out of 36 for your offensive line? Is that on Hobart too?
Um, no, I'd say that's probably because they're pulling out dudes that are working at the In and Out in Southern Cal.
And Bradley Bozeman, who's terrible.
Bradley Bozeman.
That guy definitely got paid by a different. That guy, we need to check his FanDuel account for sure.
No, I don't. Obviously, football's a team sport, but I do think it's an inflated stat where quarterbacks hold the ball too long. Like, and for instance, Patrick Mahomes holds the ball for a really long time,
Yeah. Tom
runs it.
Brady did not, and Peyton Manning used to never get sacked. They would always throw that ball away. It was like
Yep.
it was making me so frustrated as a Chargers fan against Peyton and the Broncos when he would just like
hmm
he'd have three dudes draped on him, get it out, you know.
Well,
I think like the
but
best example of you looking at that is like, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's Joe Burrow and Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco got sacked like damn near 0 times for the time he was playing. And I mean, it's ridiculous to act like Joe Burrow has like, I mean, he has a good pocket presence to avoid, like, to be able to escape the pocket sometimes. But I mean, a lot of his sacks are going to be taken because of his own fault, and that's very obvious based on the fact that Joe Flacco played behind the exact same line and took half or even a quarter of the sacks that Burrow took in the time he got back.
Landon, what do you think about when you're in field goal range on third down and you take a 15-yard sack to get your team out of field goal range on the opening drive? Is that a good thing or a bad thing by the QB?
you know, I'd say that's probably not a recipe for success, if you ask me. And you know, I wish
I'd
players would
agree.
avoid it.
I'd agree with you on that. I'd agree with you on that. It might lead to you getting shut out by a division rival at home.
You know, it
I gotta be
just
honest, bro. I couldn't tell you what happened in that game because I turned it off.
It
I
was the
stopped
first drive of the
watching
game,
after.
Hunter. It was the first drive of the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to zoom out exactly what happened, dude, because I don't even like to think about it.
All
yeah,
right,
that game needs
let's
to be erased.
let's talk about the Bengals and where they go now, because I think this is
Uh,
where we all have the most to
listen,
say.
listen, man. There's no way they go if they don't make the necessary moves, and I'm gonna lay you out the necessary moves the Bengals have to take in order for this offseason to be a success. You trade T Higgins away. T Higgins needs to get
He
gone.
can't.
Listen. If I'm Mike Brown, T Higgins is off the roster. There's no reason he got paid in the first place.
There, there were 100 million Bengals fans that sat there and begged them to re-sign T. Higgins, and now all of
So
a sudden we're
stupid.
ready to just trade him,
No, Will knows I
Yeah,
was never on the pay T Higgins train.
I mean he
which was
wasn't
a
on
va-
the
which was a valid trade. That
Landon.
should have been the
I
trade.
I bold take, I think. I was on the trade Jamar Chase wagon because you're gonna get like three or four. You could get like three first.
Thank you, dude.
You could get. Hold on, let me explain the take. You could get a package very similar to what the Chiefs got for Tyreek Hill. Set that defense up for
And how
years
much did
to
that help
come.
the Chiefs, bro?
They won two Super Bowls. That's what it helped them.
Tyreek Hill would have still benefited that Chiefs team more if he stayed on that team.
Well, you have to be able to draft and develop players for that to happen.
That's the issue, I guess. That's the issue.
I mean,
Fine, if I
listen.
was a normal franchise, I think trading away Jamar and getting the three picks, and because here's another thing. If you look at the stud wide receivers, they don't win championships. If you have a stud QB, you trade away those guys. Like Tom Brady played with like three white dudes and Gronk for his whole career. Patrick
Hey,
Mahomes,
Julian Edelman, bro.
yeah, Patrick Mahomes is they trade away Tyreek Hill. You know, all those like the stud QBs. Joe Montana had Rice, but that was it. You couldn't name a second wide receiver behind him, and maybe Dwight
You can't
Clark.
just zoom past Joe Montana having Jerry Rice. That's literally one of the
I
greatest
said
wide receivers
that's
of
what
all
I'm giving
time.
you. You only need one. You only need one. Brady had Gronk. Mahomes had Kelsey. Burrow can either have
Jerry
T
Rice
or
is
Jamar.
Jerry Rice
You
is
don't
what
need
Jamar
both.
Chase is to Burrow, dog. What are we talking about?
Okay, then what's T
Um,
Higgins?
I'm not on the trade Jamar hype train. I will be on the T Higgins train though, because going into this season, I don't know what you guys are talking about. We have $100 million in cap space. You have $100 million to pay, and if you take away T Higgins, that's adding like I don't know what's T Higgins cap
Like
hit?
30. It's like 30.
It's T Higgins cap space is sitting at $21 million.
Okay.
That's 120. Sorry, it's 109. So that's $130 million you have to work with if T Higgins is off the roster, plus probable draft picks. Because there's no reason you don't at least get a first round out of T Higgins. That is a starting wide
That's
receiver
false.
that's a
That's
starting wide
false.
receiver for almost
uh,
every other team in the league.
That's we
he's.
got like a fifth for Keenan Allen, dude. The wide
I
Keenan
receivers
Allen
have
is
been
don't.
so washed.
dookie.
Don't compare Keenan Allen to T Higgins, bro. What are
You
we
get like
talking
a
Hold
about?
on.
second, maybe a third.
You'd get a third. I guarantee you'd get a third for a T.
Nah, I
Yeah.
don't agree with that.
And then the
with
Bengals
this.
ain't drafting anybody outside the top 5 picks anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I mean
They,
that's why I'm saying they need to go to free agency because the Bengals drafting, dude, Mike Brown's
On
drafting mind is equal to a pile of shit. I mean, it's horrible.
Unironically, Bengals should do the what was that running back that Dallas traded everyone in their
Herschel
organization.
Walker.
They should do a Herschel Walker trade every year and
Awesome.
trade up into the top 5 with all their picks.
It's a fantastic idea. Maybe
And
like
then
go
get
get
one
Dion.
player. Yeah. And then they're just gonna get like Fernando Mendoza or something
Let's do a
crazy.
They need
Trey
to go
Lance
get
style trade.
Shiloh.
Yeah, they need to
Ew.
get Shiloh Sanders. That'd be so
Get
tough.
Shiloh Sanders out there, bro. No, the Bengals, there's literally, they need to fire Zach Taylor. I've been on that
He's
fire Zach Taylor train for
apparently he's on
years.
like a 5 year thing. Apparently he got
Yeah, no,
signed in
he's
2023 for
got
5 years, so he's
so they
out to
got
like
2 more years of Zach Taylor, and Mike Brown ain't paying for a guy that's sitting at home for 2 seasons. They were debating if he would do it for 1 season.
the only coach we have a chance of getting is if Kevin Stefanski eventually gets put out of the Cleveland and we pick up Kevin Stefanski.
As a guy with Jesse Minter, I'm hoping every head coach gets rehired. I'm like, let's go. You should keep him. You should keep that guy. Kevin Stefanski, he should stay. Mike McDaniel, he should stay. All those guys. Todd Bowles, he's got a job in my book. As many,
Well, I saw a thing where Matt Nagy was getting some team interest, and I'm like, take it. It'll be great
we'll
for
give
all
you
of
a
us.
third. We'll give you a third and
We'll
Matt Nagy.
we'll give you Patrick Mahomes' repaired ACL and Matt Nagy, and you can be on your
Hey,
merry
we'll
way.
fly him out to you.
Um, the Bengals are just in a weird situation. Joe Burrow's not having fun, apparently, and he sat
After
here. Someone's got to check on the brother because he's not doing good. Said
you know,
what his post game. What did he say? He said, "If
if
if I
I
was a
want to do
quarterback,
this,
if I was a
oh yeah,
quarterback for any other team in the NFL, they would have lost. That's how bad I was today. Like
that's
somebody's got to check on the guy."
if Herbert is sitting back there looking like he's storming the beach every time he drops back to pass, and he's still having more fun than you have a problem. The guy's got a broken hand and is sitting back there. We can't even protect him for a second.
I mean, the Bengals have no hope. Until Mike Brown rolls in his grave, bro, this team has no chance of doing anything.
If
He is the sole reason this team will forever be ass, and he's literally just Jerry Jones. But if Jerry Jones cared even less about his football team,
Jerry Jones would have cleaned off the seats.
Yeah, I don't. I just
there's no hope.
the
It's over.
they're you really there's nothing you can really say about the Bengals, man. I mean, there's just something about that franchise that just will never change. I mean, it just won't.
You think it's that they're just like so like here's the thing. I have an issue with the fact that Joe Burrow tried to play GM. LeBron did it in LA and it didn't work out. Joe Burrow even less experience. And I said this to Hunter and another Bengals fan friend that we have. The ownership built a pretty good defense with Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
And they had it. 6 years of playoff appearances is no joke. Even if you didn't win any, that's something to be proud of. There, like I
It
wish.
also doesn't help that you get rid of your defensive coordinator, who's been the reason you're actually performing well. Lou
Yep,
Anarumo was not the reason. Lou
I was
Anarumo was
such a
not the
big.
reason this defense was doing bad. It is strictly because the GMs refused to put any money into this team. It's Lou Anarumo was perfect. He's the reason
Yep.
we made the Super Bowl. Without him, we do not make that Super Bowl. And it's ridiculous that he got fired.
I
And
thought he was going to get head coaching
we
job.
picked up who? We picked up Al Golden. Are you
Al
shitting me?
Golden,
He's
bro.
so
He
ass.
Genius.
he killed the U, bro. That's what he did. He killed the Miami Hurricanes.
So I like to listen. Me and my dad like to listen to the Bengals radio show after they lose, and fans call in and get all mad. And I think it was Dave Lapham. He was like, they were talking about how good Cincinnati, the Bearcats, their offensive line coach is, and kind of maybe bring him in for a look as an offensive line coach. And he said, and I quote, "That's a different level. That's college, but." You did hire a defensive coordinator from college, so I guess that doesn't apply in that situation. That's the level that we're thinking with Bengals fans here.
There's I mean, what are they going to
In
cheer
defense of
for?
the Bengals, bro, we ain't got nothing going, dog. They don't know what good football is, so they have no idea what they're talking about half the time because they have no reference to go off of. Why do you
All
think
right.
Yeah,
Chargers
no.
fans are so bad, bro? It's because they have nothing to go off of.
All right. Well, we beat
If
the
they even have a
Bengals
fan base,
enough.
sorry.
We beat the Bengals enough. We've wrapped up the teams that we think that got eliminated this week. We think that where they can go. So let us know in the comment section. Like the video. Thanks for tuning in.